In this video, I actually want to give you how to scale without hoping or actually praying for clients. If you're a coach, consultant, and agency owner, and you're looking to actually scale your business currently, then I really want to help you to take the hoping, the praying, the guesswork, and working in the dark out from actual frame, install the right systems in order for you to actually scale your business to the next level. Now, within this video itself, I want to give you the actual all the process and all the frameworks that go in actually scaling your business, so you no longer have to hope or pray for the clients to come inside of your business. So a story most business owners will actually relate to is that there was a point in my business where every month felt like actual coin flip. Some months were great, some months were terrifying. This happened when I actually started to scale my first business. I used to do a lot of things. Some things paid off, like I would get a client or two in. It felt like, okay, now finally success is here. I can see like clients coming in. And then only next month to be back on square one and like, what happened? So I would refresh Stripe, refresh email, refresh DMs, and every time a new client came in, there was a relief, but also a fear because I knew nothing was actually 100% guaranteed. I knew, okay, I got two clients, but I do not have a system or a strategy to get the two clients next week or get the two clients the month after or get consistent clients coming in. And I knew that I got these two clients, they were actually temporary because after they are gone, I didn't have a strategy to get more clients. Okay. So if you ever thought, hopefully someone books today, hopefully this post works, hopefully this referral turns into actual deal, then this video is 100% for you, because that means you are actually guessing and you are hoping and praying that you will get something. If you refresh your DMs, you refresh your emails, you look through your messages, and you're kind of trying to find where to find more clients in your email, then that means this video is 100% for you, because hope is not a growth strategy and the prayer is not client acquisition system. Today I'm going to show you actually how to scale without hoping and praying for clients by building a system that creates predictability, control, and confidence even when motivation is very low. Okay, because the thing that most coaches and consultants and agency owners do is, and including myself, right, I'm no different, we invest a lot of energy, right? We invest a lot of energy into our businesses to keep the actual needle moving. And I call this the pedaling effect. Have you ever pedaled a bike? You pedal the bike, at the moment you stop, the bike stops moving. And the same with the businesses. If you keep pedaling, and then once you stop pedaling, your business stops, then that's not really a strategy. That just means you are investing a lot of energy and motivation into a business. And you're probably trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work. It's like trying to take spaghetti, throw it at the wall, and see what actually sticks and what doesn't, and then just go with whatever sticks. And this is really can maybe work at the start, but it's not maintainable and sustainable for long periods of time, because you can input high work consistently every single day for the next 5-10 years, right? At some point you will eventually burn out, you will give up on your business as well if it's not systemized and you don't get to the point where your business is consistently bringing in actual results. So why most businesses rely on hope and they don't even realize it? You see, most coaches, consultants, and agency owners don't think they rely on actual hope, but they really do. Okay, and I'm sorry to break it, but they really do. Hope looks like posting content and waiting, running ads without knowing why they actually work, depending on the referrals, chasing the M's when cash is tight, feeling calm only when money comes in. Okay, this creates emotional whiplash. One good month makes you confident, and one slow week makes you really panic, stressed, and kind of catch everything that comes at you. That's not because you are weak, it's because your business has no predictability and has no predictable engine or an actual system. When results depend on like luck, timing, motivation, and energy, you always will feel unstable. The core shift from hope to actual control. Scaling without hoping starts with one mindset shift. You stop trying to get clients and start designing a system that produces them. Okay, it's like, it's also a question that you ask, like, hey, where can I get the next client? The get is the problem. When you look at how can I get is the actual problem. But when you start saying how can I build and how can I design, that's when you think really in the long term and you think like a visionary. You want to build a system that helps you consistently to attract these clients inside of your business. But the moment you said, how can I get a client? You know you don't have a system. You know you're stressed out. You know you're frustrated. You know you're hoping and you're working in the dark, guessing. Why? Because you are looking to get clients. You're not looking to design and build systems to actually get clients inside of your business. Clients are not event, they are outputs, okay? And an output comes from actual input. If you don't control inputs, you will always hope for actual outputs, okay? Inputs are the things you control, the things you can do every single day. Outputs are the results of the inputs that you actually invested inside of your business, okay? This is the difference between reactive business and scalable business. Scalable business don't ask, how do I get more clients? Because like I said, the word get here is the problem. The moment you say get means like, where can we get? What can I do to get right now because I need more clients? The reason you want to get clients is because you are in need of clients. But once you design a system, an actual system, and once you focus on designing these systems, you can then no longer think of getting clients because you have a system. And then you can look at your system and see how well you actually get clients from the system. And then the question is like, how can I improve my system to get more clients? Not how can I get, but how can my system get more? So they ask, what inputs reliably create actual clients? How do we actually repeat them? That's what a scalable business asks. What inputs reliably create clients, and how do we actually repeat them? So why working harder stops working? Like, this is what I told you about the pedaling effect. It's like when you pedal the bike and the moment you stop pedaling, the bike stops. It's the same with most of the businesses. Early on, effort works. You post more, you DM more, you hustle more. But effort doesn't scale because effort is inconsistent, emotional, limited by actual time. At a certain level, hustle creates chaos instead of actual growth. That's when businesses feel heavier instead of actually easier, okay? The solution is not more effort, not doing more, not hustling more, not grinding more. The solution is natural structure. Because yes, at the start, I truly believe that you need to hustle your ass off, you need to grind off, you need to have hard work ethic. But later on, it's not sustainable. So at some point, you need to transition into actual systems. And if you're not transitioning into systems and you're still thinking that you can outwork everyone, eventually you will fatigue, you will burn out, you will be low on motivation, and you will give up. Because yes, to build something, you need to work hard. But what you also need is you need to have systems. Because if you really want to work hard in the right direction and really reap the rewards, then you need to have a system. Because if you can really work your system, that's when you really start to get amazing results. And then once your system is working, yes, you can work in the other direction to even better what you already are getting in the business. But if you currently have nothing working and you're just relying only on work ethic, energy, motivation, I know at some point you will burn out because that happened to me. So let's talk about the 4 components of scaling without actual hope, right? To remove hope from your business, you need 4 things working together. 4 things, just 4 things. If you get these all working together, you will have a clear system, you will understand what's happening, and your business will feel much lighter, you feel much confident, and you can scale faster, right? If your message tries to speak to everyone, no one feels like it's for them. Nobody wants to actually act. Clarity creates self-selection. When people instantly know this is for me or this is not for me, you stop chasing and they lean in. Once you design such a messaging where people are like, hey, this is not for me, and somebody says, hey, this is actually for me because that's me. But when you have somebody like that could be for me, that's a problem. When somebody says in the marketplace, that could be for me, you have a problem. But when people say that's for me or that's not for me, then you have something that's really predictable and can bring you in clients consistently. Predictable businesses are really specific businesses, targeted and focused. Number 2, reliable lead mechanism, right? Hope-based businesses rely only on random content, referrals, and spikes of actual attention. Okay, system-based businesses rely on repeatable lead sources, trackable performance, and controllable inputs. Trackable performance is the data, the raw live data that you receive from your system, telling you exactly what you need to do next, right? But another thing, when you are in a random content creation, random referrals, and spikes of attention, you're really not receiving any data of which of these indicate that actually your business is moving forward, actually growing. And for that, you now understand why you need systems, right? These mechanics are all working only when you have the right system. So this can be like YouTube content, paid traffic, partnerships, outbound systems, or community positioning. The channel doesn't really matter as much as this question. Can I predict what happens if I put in X in, right? If you can predict currently what happens to your business once you put X in, then you have a system. But if you can predict like once you put in something inside of your business, what will be the return of investment or the actual outcome, then you don't have a system. If the answer is no, you are still hoping. So number 3, qualification system, the time protection. Hope-based businesses talk to everyone. System-based businesses filter aggressively, right? And it's not just because like, hey, I know sometimes coach, consultant, agency businesses and a couple business builders think like the more people we talk, the better opportunities we have. No, the more you speak to the right people, the better opportunities you have. Because speaking to the wrong people is taking your energy away that you could be away from your business, that you could be actually investing inside of your business. Okay, so system-based businesses filter aggressively, not because they are arrogant, but because time is growth asset. So qualification protects your energy, increases close rate, builds authority, and removes emotional actual selling. And the reason you have more energy, increased close rate, and you have more authority because you're speaking to the right people. When you speak to the wrong people, they don't even know what's the value. They don't know if you're the authority. You have a lot of resistance on the sales calls. There's a lot of objections. Even when you overcome objections, they still don't want to move forward because something's holding them back. This means you're dealing with the wrong leads, and you really do have qualification problems. When the wrong people opt out, automatically the right people will show up ready. Okay. 4, decision-based sales process. Sales should not feel like a persuasion. It should feel like a diagnosis, right? A real system identifies the problem, right? So we look at the actual current state, explains the cost of inaction, what happens if we don't do anything, shows clear path forward, like what is the actual process we need to follow. Lets the prospect to actually decide at the end by showing them the actual value and showing them that this is what they actually need without actually telling them that. And when done correctly, the prospect actually sells themselves. No pressure, no chasing, and no actually convincing. So the role of actual data, why emotions and emotional decision making kills actual scale and most businesses. Hope thrives where data is missing. Without data, you panic when things slow, you celebrate random wins, you change strategy too often, right? This means there is not enough data to show you what you need to do to move the needle. It's like living with a coach 24/7. The coach will tell you what you need to do in order for you to get to where you actually want. But without the coach, without knowing how to get to somewhere, we are just trying to get there by trying to do everything, which we really don't understand what's working, what's not working. And we kind of hoping and guessing that eventually we will arrive there, right? But the truth is no. Because in order for us to arrive somewhere much faster, in order for us to be there and knowing that we are on the right direction and on the right road, we need to have feedback. When you have a system provides feedback to you, right? So with data, you expect variance. You see patterns. You make calmer decisions because you can see what is actually working and what is not working. Scaling is not about feeling confident. It's about having evidence. Data starts to replace your actual hope, and data is what really scales businesses. That's why a lot of companies, when they buy other companies, they buy other companies just for the data. They don't really care about their marketing, their systems, or their profits. They buy it because they have data. Like Skype got bought because there was a lot of data. Inputs versus outputs, right? The most important concept. Outputs are like the revenue. The results are revenue, clients, and profit. Inputs are the things you control, the things you can do. Content published, calls booked, conversations started, and follow-up sent. Okay, you cannot control outputs directly, but you control inputs. When inputs are consistent, outputs become predictable. This is how you stop praying for results and start engineering them actually. So what scaling actually feels like? When systems are installed, months will feel very calm. Okay, you're not anymore acting from your deeper emotions and you being stressed, frustrated. You're not really, oh, if the business stops working, then what happens? Like, hey, can I get clients next month? Will I get clients next month? What's my next client? Do I have anybody in the pipeline? That doesn't happen. With the right system, you feel more calmer because you have things in order. Okay, decisions feel very easy and growth feels boring in a good way because it will be boring to grow, but in such a good way because you can see it actually growing. There's less actual emotions, adrenaline, less chaos, and less emotional roller coaster. Scaling feels less excited, but far more powerful. So how to start removing hope from your actual business today, okay? If you're a coach, consultant, an agency, and you really want to remove hope, then this is the way you do it. You don't need big team. You don't need fancy software. You don't need perfection, okay? You need one clear audience, number one. Number two, one core offer. Number three, one lead system. Number four, 3 metrics. And 5 weekly review. and ask yourself every week, what do we do, what happened, and what do we adjust? This is the system. This is showing you what did you do, what happened with what you did, and what can we adjust to what we actually did. You have one clear audience, one core offer, one lead system. Once you have this scaled, let's say you scale into 100K a month, you can get it maxed out at 500 or even 1 million a month. That's when you can add another offer. Until then, you only zoom in into one offer and you sell it at least minimum until you can get it to 1 million a month. Okay, because any offer can be scaled. Once, the only thing you can do with offer is you can adjust it, you can make it better, but it's your core offer. Okay, that alone puts you ahead of the most businesses if you can do this. Okay, just doing these things, just doing this, right, will put you ahead of 99.1% of businesses. So wrapping up, so just wrap up this entirely. Hope feels good at the moment, right? Because you kind of hoping, but it creates anxiety in long term because you like realize like, hey, I can't be hoping all the time because it's not like consistent. I'm not getting consistent. Systems feel boring at first, but they create freedom. So you don't scale by wishing harder, you scale by designing better. And when your business stops relying on hope, confidence replaces fear, clarity replaces chaos, and growth becomes certain. Okay? So now you really understood what it takes for you to build a repeatable actual system inside of your business so you no longer rely on actual hope and prayers. And I hope this really delivered massive value to you. You understand things, what you need to do, what you need to execute. We covered a lot of things today. I gave you a lot of frameworks. I gave you a couple systems that need to be installed inside of your business so you actually can start scaling your business. Now the most important thing is that you actually start taking action. Okay, and if you're a coach, consultant, and agency owner currently looking to scale your business, we are more than happy to jump on a system audit call with you to really see what is needed inside of your business, what is missing inside of your business in order for you to actually scale your business. And if you're a great fit for us, we would then actually guarantee you results and we can then go forward. So if this sounds interesting, there's a link in the description where you can actually schedule a quick call, system audit call with us, and we will more than happy show you what we would do if we were you. We will also solve your biggest bottleneck there and now, audit your system, see what can be done, and also install system if it's necessary and if you want to partner with us. So first things first, I hope this really massive value was delivered to you. Now take action on this, okay? Because the difference between you actually getting to where you want is taking action, not just receiving and not just consuming.